Hi, Mr. Yat. My name is Sahej, and I'm just going to be having a bit of a discussion with you today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Nice to meet you. Hello.
Yeah, so I'm just a student nurse, and I just wanted to talk to you a bit about a medication regimen that possibly we could work on and implement into your daily routine, so that way it reduces the risk of any other complications. How does that
Okay.
sound?
Yeah, that sounds fine. Honestly, I don't really see the point of taking all these medications. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
feel okay. I do my daily job. I don't have any symptoms or issues, so I'm not too sure why I need all these medications.
Yeah, I completely understand why you would say that, but thing is, with your recent diagnosis of dyslipidemia, which is just essentially describing high cholesterol levels, it's one of those things where it's just kind of a silent killer kind of thing. Not saying that it's a killer, but it's just one of those conditions that don't really present with to the typical symptoms that you would see with many other conditions, like a fever or a cough. Like you wouldn't see that with dyslipidemia.
I
And
see.
I recall you talking about your busy schedule, and maybe that's what's hindering you with the
Yeah,
medication.
honestly, like I wake up in the morning, I just grab my keys, wash my face, and I head off to work. And I'm usually at work till about 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the evening. So, yeah, I do have a very busy schedule. I'm up at 5 a.m. and
Mm-hmm.
generally I forget to take them.
Mm-hmm. Is it perhaps like, are you one of those people that keep them in the medicine cabinets in the washroom?
Ah, yes, actually, I do have a cabinet that I have the medications from my pharmacy, but generally I forget to open that cabinet. I'm
Yeah.
usually in a hurry in the morning, so
Mm-hmm.
it just skips my mind.
Yeah, that's completely fair. But the thing is, with one of these, with a diagnosis like this of dyslipidemia, it's one of those conditions that kind of crawl up on you and can cause many other complications. Like one of the main complications of this condition would be something like a stroke. And on your records, it said that your father had a stroke.
Yes, my father had a stroke. Yes, my father had a stroke, and I remember actually they did say he had high cholesterol, so that does make me a little worried. But since like I
Mm-hmm.
said, wasn't experiencing any symptoms, it's just not really crossed my mind for the medication.
Yeah, that's fair. Basically, I just wanted to talk to you firstly about what exactly the condition is. So here we have these the image of two arteries or blood vessels, you may call it. Think of them as pipes in your house. This one is a perfectly clean, fine pipe that runs and drains smoothly. This one, on the other hand, is clogged with something called plaque, and plaque is developed through an accumulation of high cholesterol levels. And when your body has a lot of cholesterol, it accumulates as plaque in your arteries, and that causes it to be blocked. And this can happen in your brain. And when that happens in your brain, it can cause a stroke. And that's a very serious complication, and we just want to talk about and get rid of any underlying conditions that kind of increase the risk of developing that stroke.
Yes, I see. I understand that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
So,
that was a thing. That's
mhm.
put things into perspective for
Yeah,
me.
for sure. And yeah, you've talked to me about your busy schedule, and you kind of miss out on getting the medications from the medicine cabinet. You're in such a rush in the morning. What in your house is something that you kind of interact with on a daily basis, frequently, without a doubt?
Well, I do grab my keys. I leave them on the table, which is really close to the door, and I
Mm-hmm.
just grab my keys in the morning.
Mm-hmm. So what I have here are called pill organizers, and I'm wondering if we can work this into your schedule. And I have an idea. So I'm wondering if we can put these near your keys on the table, so that way it's a physical reminder, it's a cue that kind of forces you to take the medication, and so that way we can reduce the risk of any complications here. Do you think we would be able to implement that into your
Yeah,
routine?
I definitely think
Yeah.
so because it's easy for me to. It will be in my sight, so I'll it will be serve as like prompts for me to remember to
Mm-hmm.
take my medications.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think I will try that out for sure.
Yeah.
For the medications, I'm a little confused. Which medication?
So what the doctor has prescribed to you to take for your cholesterol would be something called statins, which is just a wide array of it's a classification of medications that target these high cholesterol levels, and that's what you'll be taking. It just kind of prevents the clot from developing even further, and kind of gets rid of that, reduces that risk of complication.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me more convinced to want to take them
Mhm.
because now I understand what they're doing. I initially thought they were just for management, but now that I know
Mhm.
they're actively working,
Yeah.
that makes me feel more
Exactly.
encouraged. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, so we can put those statins into these pill organizers near your keys and acts as like a physical reminder and like a cue that kind of forces you to jog your memory and to take those pills every day. So you build a routine. And given what I've discussed with you today, just explain to me what you understood from our conversation.
Okay, so I understand that my dyslipidemia, even though I don't experience symptoms, it's
Mhm.
still there,
Mhm.
and that means there's plaque
Mhm.
forming in my blood vessels, and that can stop or reduce blood flow to my important body organs.
Mhm.
And for me to remember to take my medications, I can try using the pill organizers. I appreciate you bringing them to me,
Mhm.
and I will put this somewhere close in my house so I can remember to take my medications at the right time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that perfectly sums up what I wanted to discuss with you today. It looks like we've come to a good understanding about your condition and how we can kind of manage that. So yeah, it was good to see you today. Thank
Yes,
you for your time.
Thank you for explaining all this to me. Makes
Yeah.
me feel happy.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Yap. My name is Treasure. I'll be your student nurse for today. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm doing good, thank you.
That's great to hear. I know you came into the clinic for a follow-up after your recent diagnosis, and I know you got some blood work. Could you tell me a little bit about what you know about your condition?
So like the doctor told me that I have high cholesterol, but other than that, I don't know anything about this.
Oh, really? Okay, so you are right. High cholesterol it's a condition called dyslipidemia, so there's different kinds. It just means you have higher blood levels of serum fat, that is like blood fat and blood lipids. And the way we get these like lipids or fats is by our diet, what we consume. That's the main source of where we're getting these increased fat and lipid levels. So I know you filled out a questionnaire earlier. Do you mind handing it to me?
It's right here. Right, right here.
Okay, thank you. So I'm looking here. It says you eat a lot of packaged foods and some fried foods as well, and bacon. And okay, so yeah, like I said earlier, we get these fats by mostly what we consume, which is why I'm here to talk to you today. And you're okay for a chat?
Yeah.
Okay, just my first question to you, do you know of any healthier food options, or what is your main priority for, or main reason for selecting these foods?
Probably because of time, because I work long and regular hours, so I have to have time. But grocery shopping, I don't have time to like look at the nutritional facts or whatever. So yeah.
Okay, I see. Well, I do have some strategies that we could possibly implement for you. So I have two options that I wanted to like talk to you about today and see if that could be possibly something we can put into your diet and that would work with your longer regular hours.
Yep.
So first off, I wanted to show you this. Are you aware of the front of label package?
No, not at
For
all.
Canadian foods. Okay, so this is basically an easy way for you to identify foods that are high in saturated fat, which
Yeah.
is something we want to avoid.
Yeah.
So saturated fats, you want to look out for this label. I know you do eat a lot of packaged food. You also mentioned instant noodles, so that's why I have this as an option. So this front of label package is basically tells you what that food is high in. So for example, this one's high in saturated fat and also some sodium as well.
Yeah.
So for that, you can easily in the grocery store, without having to look at the long detailed
Yeah.
nutritional value on the back, you can always just look at this and easily select your options, and that way you can avoid eating these high lipid containing diets as well,
Yeah.
and still keep your packaged options that are more safe for you. Another thing I wanted to also let you know about is providing you with an option for you to incorporate into your diet that has low fat but will still keep you feeling full for a while. So fruits, for example, I have this fruit box here, but you could generally use any kind of fruit or eat any kind of fruit, and it will fit into your diet because it's something you can have on the go. You just grab it and go, and they're also low in lipid content as well. So this way I want us to take two approaches. So one approach is to easily identify and avoid these foods containing high fat, while also incorporating foods that have low fat that will keep you feeling full for longer. Does that kind of seem like a possible idea for you?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and just to make sure that that we both understand, I want you to tell me something you would look out for in your next grocery run.
Okay, so some things to be looking out for. It's I have to take care of my diet because it's one of the main things we get fat in our system, in our blood. So so in my next grocery shopping, I'll be looking out for this label right here, so I can read that it is high in saturated fat. So it's best for me to avoid those. And also I need to incorporate snacks such as fruits that'll make me feel full even if it's low in fat.
Yes, perfect. You said everything correctly. That is the goal for today, just to get you to understand why we are encouraging you to have these diets and what other options you can have, so you can still enjoy your tasty meals. You can still enjoy a quick and easy meal that will fit into your long, busy lifestyle as well. Well, I'm glad you understood everything that I explained today, and I'm hoping that on your next grocery run you'll be able to pick out some healthier food choices. Do you have any questions for me?
No, not at all.
Okay, thank you so much for listening to me, and thank you for visiting the clinic. I'll see you next time, Mr.
Thank
Yap.
you. Thank you, Treasure.
Start now.
Okay, hi Mr. Yap. I'm Levi. I'm a student nurse from the U of M. I'm just here to talk about your dyslipidemia, your recent diagnosis, and any concerns that you have. Would you mind telling me about those?
Yeah. So my main concern right now regarding my new diagnosis of dyslipidemia is fear and anxiety. Not too long ago, my father passed away from a stroke, and I heard the doctors telling my dad about it, that the reason he had a stroke was because of the dyslipidemia. And I'm scared that me having this new diagnosis of dyslipidemia myself puts me at a risk of having a stroke. And a stroke is such a scary thing. I wake up in the mornings and I'm scared and I'm anxious that what if one day I have a stroke? How will I know the signs? How do I know?
Okay, so I hear you, and this is a very valid feeling that you're feeling right now. I know that stroke can be scary, and you are right to question whether the risk factors that you share with your father could contribute to you having a high risk of having a stroke. And yeah, so basically the best thing that we can do right now is to prepare, and just in case that stroke does come, so you are better prepared and you seek prompt medical attention promptly, so that we have better outcomes for you when that stroke comes.
Thank you.
So I have prepared here for you an acronym that tells you about the warning signs of the stroke. It's called BFAST. Yeah. Okay, so starting with the letter B, which stands for balance. So this might, in an event of a stroke, you might feel out of balance. So you might feel wobbly, or you might feel that you're falling to one side. And next up is eyes. With this symptom of a stroke, you might feel blurriness on one side of the eye or both eyes actually. Moving on to F, which stands for face. This can make your face droop to one side. So what that means is that with stroke, whenever you're trying to smile, you might feel that one side of your face is harder to control. So when you try to smile, it might look like you're only smiling on one side of your face and the other one would be drooping. Moving on to A, which stands for arms, is that you might have weaker strength on one side of your arm or your legs actually, and that is another sign of a stroke. And moving to S, which stands for speech. You might find that you have slurred speech. So what that means is that it might sound like you're talking gibberish or not as clearly as before. And lastly, when you recognize one or more of these symptoms, it is time to call for 911 or an ambulance to seek medical intervention promptly, so that we could have better outcomes for you, just in case an event does come. So, do you have any questions about this acronym and its the signs and symptoms of stroke?
No, you explained it pretty well. So I have, you helped me understand like the acronym. And I think I'd be
Yeah.
able to recognize a stroke if I was showing signs
Yeah.
one day.
Okay, so just to make sure that you to help better solidify your learning and for me to know if you're understanding this very well, can I just ask you to tell me about the BFAST acronym and its associated signs and symptoms?
So be fast. So first you got B, which is balance. So you might feel wobbly or like kind of dizzy, that type of thing. And then E is eyes. So I might like kind of have like vision issues in one eye. And then F is face. So one side of my face could be like droopy. A is arms. So like I would have weakness on one side of my arms. S would be like speech, which would be like, I think you said incomprehensible or like mumbling or like gibberish, like something like that. And then T would be like, if I were to recognize one or any of those symptoms, then I should call 911 and like ask for medical assistance as soon as I can, or get someone to call for me. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you have identified the BFAST acronym and the warning signs and symptoms of a stroke. Here, I'll just give you this for you to take home, just in case for future reference. And yeah, so thank you for your time and listening to my discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you, Surya.